Hello, welcome to my channel. I found this tracing of seabirds. I've used them in a number of different paintings, and I decided to do a tropical sea, and I transferred it to my 9x12 panel, and I've put in my horizon line. I'm using pelicans flying, and I'm not sure what the birds are. Maybe, I'm not, sandpipers, maybe, at the shore edge. Hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Here's my usual palette. I'll list those for you. And I'm using some flats and 2 small rounds. I should also say that I'm using acrylic paints today. I like to do seascapes with acrylics. And I pre-painted my panel with an ultramarine mixed with titanium white. And I've put in my horizon line with, I think it's called frog tape, a very thin one. But you need to get your horizon line absolutely straight. And I'm using ultramarine blue and I think it's hooker's green. And I'm putting in the ocean where it is furthest away, and so it will be the darkest. And of course, being tropical, it's very green. It's not reflecting grey skies, and the water is green. The closer to you, the greener it gets, actually. I'm going to put in some lighter green where, you get reflections. The ocean is not one solid color. It has light patches and dark patches. A lot of things can make the changes. Maybe it's deeper in one area than it is somewhere else, or maybe there's a cloud and you have cloud shadow. Lots of things cause those variations. But invariably, as it gets closer to you, water being green shows up as a much paler green where it hits the shore. There are many different ways of doing a painting. Experiment and find your way. There's no right or wrong way to use brushes. Just try it. Do it many times and you'll find your way. That's my dog. You can hear snoring in the background. I'm using raw sienna. I've got a little dash of cad yellow in there, and I'm going to put some titanium white, and I'm aiming for sand. It's always darker where the water's washing across it, where you can see it through the water, and it will be paler where it's dried out, where the water has not yet touched it. I know you can hear my dog sighing and snoring in his sleep. There's nothing I can do about that. And I don't mind if the green gets into the sand. It all helps with that watery look that I'm trying to achieve. I've got the windows standing open, so you'll hear lots of birds on the pond today, although those might be ones in the trees. I think I have a flock of crows out there. I'm going to use some titanium white and to put in some clouds. I'm just using a crisscross brush stroke. I'm using a powder brush that I got from the Dollar Tree, and using a circular stroke, I'm blending in the white to make the clouds nice and soft and fluffy. I'm going to put in the shadow of the clouds using alizarin crimson, a little ultramarine blue, and that will give me the shadow colour. I'll blend that in at the base of the clouds. Well, that blended out the white a little bit, so I'm going to reinforce that as well. I always have several powder brushes around. As soon as I've used one, I will drop it into the water because acrylic paint is very hard on brushes. So I usually have 2 or 3 at least to use for blending. Shush. Now these sandpipers are not actually white, but I like to paint them white off to start off with. That gives me a good base to put the other colours against. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm not actually sure whether I like them. I'm going to paint them in and I might take them out later. Well, there they are for now, and I'm going to do the same thing to the pelicans, although the pelicans too are actually brown pelicans. I'm using straight titanium white and I'm going to put in some breaking waves, and I will also put in some white caps behind those waves. The further away they are, the smaller they become. I'm putting in the stringy foam that you get close into shore. I'm mixing up a very pale green. I want to put it just where the wave is breaking to indicate light shining through the wave. Waves cast shadow. Where the foam curls over, it casts shadows. You see shadows through the foam. So I'll be putting those in with some Hooker's Green and ultramarine blue. I usually use sap green, but I can't seem to find that at the moment. But I found a large tube of Hooker's Green, so that's what I have on my palette today. I'm going to use this big old bristle brush that I've had for years, and I'm going to use it to pounce in the foam that you get in a breaking wave. It has a lot of spray coming off of it, off of the wave, and I find doing it this way makes it look a little more genuine. I'm going to dot in some flecks of foam. I'm going to start on the birds. I'll use raw sienna, and I've got a little ultramarine blue in there to give me a sort of tannish brown. And first I'm sort of doing a little reflection. I've mixed up an orange with alizarin crimson and cad yellow light, and I'm going to put in the pelican's beaks. They're very large beaks, but I don't have a very steady hand, so I'm putting those in first and then I can correct any mistakes afterwards. And I'm going to be working on the sandpipers. I'm using raw sienna and a little ultramarine blue to give myself a sort of tannish sort of brown for the feathers. Well, I'm not too happy with the sandpipers. I'm going to work on the pelicans. They are brown pelicans. I'm using ultramarine blue and raw sienna. and I might wipe out the sandpipers. I'll live with them for a little while and see how it goes. I'm using my rigger or liner brush to do this. I'm okay with the pelicans, they can stay. So I'm going to take the tape off and you'll see I have a nice straight horizon line. So I left it a while I think about the sandpipers, but I really don't like them. They're too big and a bit on the ugly side, to be honest. I like the sky, the pelicans, the water's rather green. I quite like the surf, but the sandpipers have just got to go. And they're rather, it's been quite a long time and I feel they're too dry. So I'm just going to paint over them and just make it surf and sand. I think that looks better already. I think the birds, if they had been much smaller, would have looked better. But hey, next time, and maybe next time I won't do the water quite as green. But there is always a next time, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And please give me a thumbs up if you did, and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of my videos. And I just love to share my painting. I've picked up a few tips and tricks along the years that I've been painting, and I hope you get something from my paintings. Thanks for watching.